Trysta, Krick, Bet MGM tonight, which can be heard on ESPN 1320 following D'Lo and KC today. Trysta, what's good?
That's a good look. I come on right after y'all. That's great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the way it should be. Sacramento needed more Trysta, Krick.
Absolutely.
I need more Sacramento, let's be honest.
I do have to point out the uncomfortable. Sacramento has not lost since you left.
Well, yeah, that is true.
Maybe that's what I needed. It was a little slump buster.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Oh, man.
Well,
thank you, Mark Grace, for adding that to our vernacular. Yeah.
Trysta came in and
cleared the cobwebs out.
Yeah.
Cobwebs out.
Hey-o.
The storm came. I came. Boss. Let's start again. Let's start this over again.
James. It's on you, buddy.
Hi, Tristan. How are you? Yeah. Yeah.
I was wondering, James, about Alperen Sengun. Is he gettable?
I don't think he is. I think that they're going to build that team around him. He's a guy, like, again, you're looking at Sabonis light or very young Sabonis. And if you could go out and get him, I mean, it's going to cost you first-round picks. I just don't think that Houston's going to do it. And even I don't think he can play alongside Sabonis, you know?
You were thinking about Sengun for the Kings?
Yeah, as a backup.
He's a starter in this league.
He's a starter, but, like, that would be a nice little, like, you know?
Really good.
He's good. I'm just thinking about other types of players that fit that mode. You know?
Let me ask you a question, Tristan. What would you say? We'll find out in just a second, I guess. What would you say if I said, I don't think the Kings need to do anything? I like their roster. Yeah, they got holes. Yeah, I'm not saying they're a perfect team, but the combination of like who would be available compared with who you could get, compared with the minutes they would take away. Like, for instance, like if you go and get Mason Plumlee, he may be taking away Trey Lyles minutes. Is Mason Plumlee that much better than Trey Lyles? Like, what would you say if I said they don't need to make no moves?
Look at me. Do you think that I am in alignment with that? You're just drinking that post-coital high of all of that, those Kings wins. You know what I mean? Like, you're just still rocking with that. You're in snuggle mode. You know, you and the Kings are spooning.
Hey, man, I'm telling you. I'm saying, so if you get Mason Plumlee and he does a good job on the defensive end, what is he doing for you on the offensive end?
He's passing. He's passing. That's what he does.
He doesn't finish and he can't make free throws. You think he plays well? You think he plays well with Malik Monk?
I don't know yet.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think you need
what I would say is that just 2 weeks ago, we were discussing, I was in studio, James Ham was in studio, you two, of course, always in studio. And we were talking about all the role players that are just not good enough. And somehow, all of a sudden, just 2 weeks of love, Kenny, and you're like on the train, back on the we don't need to make no moves train.
That's not true. I wasn't talking about the role players that were good enough. I told them what they needed to do, James. I was talking about it for a week and a half. Mike Brown, stop playing and stop with this Keita and Holmes and all this other stuff. You were at your best when you had Metsu out there and you were explosive from like 1 to 10. And you need to get back to doing that.
Let me ask you this. Can we see this version of Rashawn Holmes again? Like, is this Rashawn Holmes unlocked? Will we see him back energized like this, or was this a one-off because he was starting?
But I think that's the thing that we like. When would you see it?
Yeah,
because he played 30 minutes against the Lakers, and like he's not going to play 30 minutes.
Nope, he's not. Maybe you should move him while people see what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for him, he's just never going to get that opportunity unless Sabonis is out. And I think what he showed is that, like, look, if you do lose Sabonis for any length of time, he can step in and be that guy that at least makes your offense run and stuff. But we talked about the Kings, like, didn't they just rattle off 5 games in a row where they scored 132 or more?
Yes.
Okay, and then what happened the next game when Rashawn Holmes was in the starting lineup. And I'm not putting it on Rashawn. It's just the way that this team works. I mean, everything goes through Sabonis. And if you take away that option and you add a player like Holmes, he just doesn't have the same capabilities of passing capabilities of Sabonis. And so, I mean, I thought maybe you can be a little bit better defensively in certain situations, especially if Holmes is really locked in on the pick and roll coverage and stuff. But like, you just can't run the same type of offense without Sabonis on the court.
Yeah, but it's exciting. I put this on Twitter. As you guys know, I was one of the first on the division leader train.
That's facts.
I gave it out at 66-1, didn't play it with my own money until literally 24 hours later when it went from 66-1 to 45-1. And now the Kings are the leaders in the clubhouse to win.
That's crazy. That's nice.
Plus 150 to win.
Wow.
And then he's like, you want to cash out on this or no? No, I don't. I don't.
You sure?
I'm sure. I'm sure. My little 15 bet gets me $700. I am sure.
Wow.
Let me ask you this:
who's gamble more?
Who's the best bet to upset that bet? No pun intended.
By our dubs. By our dubs.
Warriors. Yeah.
You guys think they turn it around like that?
No.
Like that? No.
So
do you think your dubs? Do you think they are a play-in team or a playoff team?
It just is feeling like the losses are mounting to the point where they're just the villain in a horror film, right? Like, they are dead. They're on the ground. You try to step over them. You don't put that extra bullet in them, and you step over and then they pull you down, and now they're still alive. Like, that's the dubs. That's them, you know? So as long as they're not eliminated mathematically, then I am going to continue what has been my new philosophy, which is that the dubs will be fine. They may be a 9 seed, but eventually they will get into the playoffs as, you know, an 8 or a 7 seed, and then they'll play Denver. I mean, God, come on. Like, can you see it? They play Denver. Something happens to Michael Porter. And they beat Denver in 6. And now they've got the 1 seed path. That's how it happens. That's how it happens.
Their issue with me is, for whatever reason, well, I know what the reason is. They don't play defense, but they can't win on the road. They are incapable of winning road games, at the very least, like consecutively. Like, would they go on a run of winning 4 straight road games? I highly doubt it. Like, they're all.
You do see, though, that when they want to turn up the defense, it is stifling. It's perilous to the opponent. All of a sudden, you see a 20-point lead diminish, and now the Warriors are up 2. Like, they're not finishing the job right now, but down fourth quarter stretches, you're seeing playoff intensity. And when the playoffs come, that's when you're going to get playoff intensity at all times, or at least most of the time. So, yeah, I think that they are still flawed, but at the end of the day, capable of playing elite defense to get out into transition. Steph gets out, shoots a couple of 30-foot threes, does his little poo-poo dance that he does his little night-night dance, and now you are morally dejected, and it's time for you to go home.
I'll say this, and maybe this is contradictory. I do think they get in the top 6, though.
Do you?
You think Golden State gets in the top 6?
Because I think Dallas is going to fall out, and I think Utah is going to fall out.
I think the Kings, like, their objective right now, whatever you do between now and February 9th, you have to do enough to be in the top 6.
Yes.
Because if you're not, and you're looking at the potential for Golden State, for Phoenix, for Minnesota, for even the Lakers to be in the play-in tournament with you, just one game matchups when you haven't been there before and everyone else has, that's not comfortable. You need to be a 6 seed so you don't have to worry about the play-in if you're the Sacramento Kings.
I agree. What do you think, Damian? What do you think they where do you stand? Obviously, Kenny's in the camp of do nothing.
I didn't know. Let me clarify.
He says nothing. Do nothing.
I said,
do nothing.
Do they need to do something? I don't think they need to do anything. If they end up making moves, cool. Like, that's I'm all for that. But I think a lot of people are like, no, they need to do something to solidify themselves.
And
I don't think
that's
they need to do anything.
That's the weird thing, though. I don't think there's I don't think you make a move to make a move. Like, what's the move that makes this team better? And most importantly, I'm not interested in trading Harrison Barnes. I think that's what it really boils down to. I have zero interest in trading Harrison Barnes. So if there's something out there that you could do, as much as I love Rashawn Holmes, that involves Rashawn, that involves Alex Lynn, or even our guy Terrence Davis, like, yo, you do what's best for the team. But I don't know what that is. Like Mason, like what you suggested was that ain't Houston isn't going to do that. So you're talking like the Mason Plumlees or the Serge Ibakas. I mean, I guess you could try and see if it helps, but if it doesn't, all right, probably no big deal that it didn't, and you're just hoping that it does. But I have been unable to define what worked. Like, what's the change? Everyone says backup center. Great. Who? Mason Plumlee? That's the guy? Okay. All right. Like, if you're really convinced that Mason Plumlee is going to be the fortunes that set this Kings team moving forward, and then what are we talking about? Are we talking about the 6th seed? Is that because part of me does feel like this team's good enough to be a top 6 seed for the rest of the season?
Yes.
But if we're talking about more, I don't know what that move is. If you're talking about winning playoff series and knocking off, I think you could beat Dallas or Utah, one of those teams below you. But if you're talking about building out something longer this year, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. It's tough. Backup center's hard to come by. A lot of them just kind of janitor types. The ones that are pretty good are starting. So
the Kings have 5 centers, and they still. I don't think they have the right one.
Yeah.
Behind Sabonis, so 4 behind.
You don't think Metu can be the right one?
Maybe, but like I'm not convinced. And even if so, Alex Len and Chimezie Metu both are unrestricted free agents at the end of the year. Like, are you banking on them to be something that changes? I mean, we watched Damian Jones here last year, and I thought Damian Jones probably would fit better with this team right now. And
is he still with the Lakers?
Yeah, and don't get no burn.
Yeah, I'm confused by that. Yeah. Boy, and didn't Thomas Bryant look like not like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Like
Thomas Wilt Abdul-Jabbar Jokic Bryant?
Yeah. What exactly happened there? Like, hey, I guess
that was incredible. Yeah, that was the first that came to mind. I was like, I got a guy. I just saw him.
He was motivated by Trysta being in the building, and he found out Trysta wasn't at the Staples Center. He said, "The hell with this," or crypto, whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I'm excited for you guys. I really am.
You guys, it's us.
Yeah. Well, it's us, but it's I'm excited with the rising tides lifts all ships. Everything in Sacramento is going up.
All right. Yeah. Did you see that Sacramento is, according to Forbes, the #1 place to live in California?
No, that's not true.
That's what Forbes said. I'm just telling. I'm a broadcast journalist.
Thank you.
That's all I'm doing.
That's right.
Forbes said it. #1 place.
She's looking it up.
Pound for pound, by the way. When you talk about pound for pound, like, yeah, you can live in LA, you can live in San Francisco, but you'd be living in a shack probably. All right. You can come to
Wow, #1. Wow. Yeah. There. Not in order though. It could have just been, like 1 is Sacramento, but it's like not in order, and they're like my top 5 guards in the NBA, not ordered,
I just think we need to get you out here when bomb cyclones aren't happening and there aren't trees in the middle of the street and all of that weird stuff.
We almost got blown across the road.
Yes. We almost lost Trysta in Doko.
We're like going to cross the street, and all of a sudden a gust of wind, like, oh my gosh. We're all like,
oh my God, we're losing Trysta.
Everybody hold on. We got to lock arms and make sure we don't lose anybody.
Trysta.
Yeah.
We guys have not even discussed the fact that we are going mano a mano in the NFL this weekend.
Who's we?
My Cowboys and your Niners.
The hell are you talking
You're
about,
a
Trysta?
Cowboy fan?
Oh, you guys didn't know?
That's stunning.
The hell are you talking about, Trysta?
You guys didn't know? You didn't know? Hold up. We the boys.
Is that what? Wow.
We got a twist.
Wow. This is
Lot twist. Oh,
I
yeah.
don't like that. I don't like that, dog. I don't like that.
How long have you been a
Mm.
Cowboys fan, and why?
Since the early 90s.
Wow.
So, I mean,
Okay,
obviously
LeBron.
a dominant period.
LeBron Krick here.
So
You a Yankees fan too?
No, listen.
She likes
So
the
here's the background.
WFAN.
Here's the background. Sister is 9 years older. Was dating a guy from Texarkana.
Oh God.
And yeah, total scumbag. She was with him at 16, 17. Got back with him at like 36. So he's bad. Bad dude. But he was a huge Cowboys fan. And she sort of hopped on his bandwagon. And like, because I wanted to hang out with her on NFL Sundays, I kind of hopped on that bandwagon. And there was success happening. And so the success was easy to sort of be, I don't know, enticed and intoxicated by. And Seahawks, we just really don't mess with Seattle. And I guess I could have been a Niners fan. It would have probably been better for the show since I'm like right in between those two.
This is fine, though. This is fine. How do you feel about Sunday?
I'm nervous. I think it's going to be one of those things where Brock Purdy hasn't seen a defense like this yet. He played Commanders without Chase Young, Arizona.
Chase Young played.
Did he?
He was balling. He was a problem in that game, too.
Okay, so Chase Young did play. My mistake. Seattle twice, Arizona twice.
I think that was literally his first game.
No, it was his
I
first
couldn't
game
really. I think that was literally
his
his first game.
He was nice. Still, he was a problem.
Was he? So I think Micah Parsons is going to be a problem for Brock Purdy. I'm curious about the run game. I'm going to take Zeke unders. I think Nick Bosa is going to be all over him. So 34.5, I think, is his prop. So I'm going to take the under on that. I think Dak Prescott's going to be able to get the ball to Michael Gallup, though, on the outside quite a bit. I think it's going to be a shootout. I really do. I hope it is.
Really?
I do.
Wow.
Do they have enough weapons?
Who? Dallas?
Yeah. I mean, the Niners have enough weapons.
Oh.
You say who? Dallas? Yeah.
He said that he was about to give me the B word. What? What you mean, Dallas? That's the only possible outcome in that question.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, when you got guys like Dalton Schultz, and Dalton Schultz,
he's a good ball player.
He's okay. He's like a guy. He's not an elite tight end, and he's getting 8-9 catches. That's wild. I don't think it's going to be that case this weekend because the Niners have a better defense on tight ends than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do. But that kind of concerns me when he's like Dak's number one option, right? At 90 something yards on 9 receptions. Michael Gallup is going to have to really get busy. His passing or his receiving yard prop is 35. So Vegas is not confident. CeeDee Lamb.
I would think that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. CeeDee Lamb, I think he can be the guy, but no, I don't know necessarily if there's enough weapons. I think what you're hoping for is a Dallas relies on Dak, and Dak does a better job than Brock Purdy. Really, that's what you're hoping.
Where do you stand on Dak?
I think, you saw what he can do when the game plan looks good, right? When their defense is playing well, they're not putting them in bad situations. When, they're able to get the ball to their receivers. And listen, they didn't run the ball particularly well, but he's a pretty quarterback. Like watching him play and cook, I enjoy. I don't think he's the same, obviously, as Pat Mahomes. I don't put him on the level of Josh Allen, but he can do a lot of the same dual quarterback stuff. I would say when he's at his best, outside of Brady and Rodgers, because I don't put him in that list anymore. I think they're just kaput. I think he's just outside the top 5, 7.
I think he's talented. I just don't trust him. He does some head scratching things sometimes. And I think I don't trust him. That's the best way I could put it. I never trust Dak Prescott. I think he's talented, but I don't know if he's always the best decision maker. When it's really time to make plays.
Yeah, we've never seen him really do it in the playoffs. We've seen him do it in the regular season before. He had an incredible drive that he put the team on his back against the Giants. That's the one that they put over the Post Malone, like Post Malone had the video that he had. I think that's what he was talking about, right?
Well, don't forget about that Packers game. He was phenomenal in the Packers game before Aaron Rodgers threw
played good in the second half.
One of the most ridiculous completions I've ever seen in my life, and they lose that playoff game.
Yeah, I think he's maligned. I think
that was rookie Dak.
Yeah, I think Dak is maligned. Like, I think he's sort of been hated on because he's playing for America's team. If he was playing for another team, I mean, look how Brock Purdy's been embraced. You know, it's not like Dak was a first-round pick, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the closer you get to Jerry Jones, the more you stink. And he got a little too close to Jerry for a little while, and it was like, hey.
Yeah, and like there was some real, like if we want to talk about off the field, there are some real wishy-washy, maybe take a stand on
there's
something.
Some strong get-out vibes. There's some strong sunken zone stuff there from Dak.
Correct. And someday, because you guys know I have all the stories. I have
yeah, that's facts.
Gracious.
I have an incredible Dak Prescott story.
Oh, man.
Incredible. Like, not for the chatty house, just for y'all. Yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. That's, I'm calling after the show to get that story.
Like,
I need a group text.
Y'all going to be wondering why Trysta's not on BetQL for 20 minutes because I'm getting that story.
Hey, Trysta, I say this game, and this I understand it sounds highly disrespectful to those guys in Philadelphia. I say the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl.
It's even more disrespectful to the guys in New York.
Yeah, those guys too. I say Niners and Cowboys is the NFC representative in the Super Bowl.
I think so too. I think if Dallas can get past, and it's like a Dak revenge tour kind of a thing, right? You get past Tampa, you had never beaten them. You thought that, like, okay, Dak says to Tom, I'll see you in the playoffs. He didn't. Now he sees him this year. It was a lot better than I thought that game was going to go. I was very nervous. It was a stomp the yard kind of game. Now this Niners game is hopefully not to like say it's going to be a make or break thing, but hopefully it's to atone from how bad last year's was, right? Like so many penalties, false starts, holding penalties. Now no Jason Peters, so I'm a little concerned that it's a rookie in the offensive line going up against Nick Bosa. So if they can beat the Niners after being Tampa Bay, going up against the divisional rival, whoever it may be, I think that's a really good spot for Dallas to be in Arizona representing the NFC or Niners if they win.
What's your pick? What's your Super Bowl pick? Do you have one?
So we were just doing that last night. It was Bills, Niners.
I don't trust the Bills.
That would be fun.
I think the Bills are a little reckless. Josh Allen, I guess, is who I'm talking about.
All those AFC teams are reckless.
Yeah, I still think Kansas City is the best.
Cincinnati is really Mahomes can be reckless?
No, he can be.
Yeah.
He can be.
You don't think those behind the back passes are a little
They're unsafe, but they usually land in a receiver's hands for 40 yards.
Like, you don't think it's a little odd he passes underneath someone's armpit as it's like going down?
Well, you know, I guess the most stable of the four would probably be Cincinnati, but they got all those offensive line issues.
Yeah. Did I tell you guys I'm going to that game?
What?
No.
Yeah, I'm flying out tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow morning, and then going to the game. Yeah, I'm pumped.
What's the forecast? Is it gonna be snowing or is it good? Or
35, cloudy, maybe snow, 40% chance of snow. I've never been to Buffalo, so I'm excited.
You gonna jump into a table?
I hope so.
Please don't. Please don't. Please don't.
What?
Do not jump through a table.
Why not?
Or be thrown through a table. Or do anything involving
a table that's on fire.
Don't.
You know,
and if you do, at least tag us, but just don't. Just stay away from the mafia. The good people.
What's his name? Texted me, the mafia guy. He said, "Hey, I listened to the podcast. You're pretty close to spot on. See you soon."
Oh no, don't see me. Don't see me.
See you soon.
He said pretty close to spot on. Don't see me. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing.
You had us cracking up with all of that. And I was like, I hope so.
Got a text from the Mafia guys, the sentence you don't hear a lot.
Nope.
Don't hear that
Like,
a lot.
remember when you told those guys I was mobbed up with 3 different mobs? Yep, pretty close.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Oh, geez. Goodness gracious. Oh man. Nah.
Oh boy.
All right.
Well,
Cowboys +4, take it.
thanks for listening,
I'm
Mafia
going
guys.
Niners -4. I think it's a 10 to 14 point win.
Oh, I hope not. I'll be
I-
texting.
Bro, you really no-sold my jacket for 25 minutes, and I'm a little bit in my feelings about it.
It's so good. I saw it when I was in the waiting room. That was when the reaction, I don't know if you saw the reaction that I have. I was like, okay, shine bright like a diamond. You're looking like a Rihanna backup dancer.
I could do that.
You ready for halftime? Sure.
I'm preparing.
You guys see that Stephen A.
Oh yeah.
He got caught up in the I was thinking about you, Damien. Like just the because we were talking about you interviewing her. And I was like, man, it's the only thing worse than getting caught in the beehive is getting caught in Riri's gang.
The Navy don't play.
It's just like it had nothing to like, what are you doing? Like, what does Beyonce even have to do with the conversation? Like, that's not the question. Rihanna is performing at halftime. The question was, are you excited? And you took a moment to like trash her. Like, bro, don't do that. That's weak.
It's super weak. And he does this, and I don't know if you guys saw my tweet, but it's like in a formula. It's like long preface preamble, right? Like Rihanna, blah, blah, blah. This is not going to go how you think it's going to go. And I'm going to talk about that. And then insert bunch of commentary and compliments about Rihanna, right? Or about insert random person that he's about to throw a stray at. And, oh, yeah, great talent, Rihanna. Love her. She's an incredible performer. Loved all of her songs. And then insert a congratulatory piece that makes no sense. Also, new mom, Rihanna, baby mama, love that about her. And then insert with all that being said, and I get all that, then you insult her. That's pretty much.
I don't know if he thought it was going to get a pop from all those women or what, but the second he said but, they booed his ass.
They were like,
what?
what?
I still hadn't even seen the clip.
They were like, that whole crowd was like, you better watch what you say next. And he's like, no. But wait. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. No one's a Beyonce. Oh, I don't know what it was. It was
like
one of
The View or something.
It was something like that. I don't think it was The View, but it was something like The View.
The talk isn't on anymore.
He didn't say it like during an appearance on a soap opera.
He didn't say it during an appearance on a soap opera. No, he did not.
He's already just pushing the book. He's just going from lady spot to lady spot.
Don't go through a table this weekend. Okay.
I'll try not to. I love your jacket.
Buffalo's your people. Like they know you, right? So they like, are they ready for you to come up? Like, are they
ready?
Hey,
They're ready. You? They're finding me some buffalo wing spots. So wing spots, they do well. I hear
that sure ain't no flat stick pub.
No, I mean nothing is really. That place is hot. You know what I mean?
Right. Facts. That place is hot. We love you so much. More Trysta Krick coming up immediately following our show.